Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the channel. So I have a channeled message for you and sort of like a brief energy update just to kind of help you through these current energies, because I feel like we're all going through a major physical energy shift in our physical bodies, and people are experiencing all sorts of symptoms right now as we acclimate, but we're also being asked to clear out some of the fear in our bodies. That's actually being stored in our bodies as blockages. So we're really looking to the chakras. In particular, what I feel like is up for healing for the collective is the sacral chakra. So that will be the highlight of this video, but we will talk about some other things as well. So welcome back to those of you who have been following for a while. Thank you. And thank you, you guys, to the new subscribers. Thanks for finding the channel and joining along this journey. I feel like this is a huge time for facing our fears right now. It's mostly because we feel the reward waiting on the other side, and our soul is propelling us to do this. So if you guys don't know me as well, I'm a soul coach and intuitive advisor, and I help twin flames along the ascension journey and anyone who is wanting to heal at a deeper level. I have my own methodology of walking you through your healing. It's very progressive, and but I do have to say that since I've had my practice, I haven't seen this many people coming to me so willing and wanting to do the work in such a condensed period of time. I would definitely say over the past month or two, I've seen more ready, willing people, and I've witnessed more breakthroughs than I can even count. And it's been amazing. I mentioned this a few videos ago, but it's really been amazing to witness, and it's still going. If any of you need assistance clearing out some of the traumas or fears, stepping back into your alignment, I have tools for you. You can check that out, spiritualmaterialgirl.com. And either way, I just want to say to anyone who's doing the work, kudos to you. That's what the ascension journey is about. It's about coming all the way home to yourself. And okay, so let's talk about that for a moment. So we're in this time of rapid manifestation and heightened synchronicities, and we're being asked to attune to sort of a new energy, a higher frequency. So as that happens, and I'll talk about the synchronicities later in this video, but as we attune, your physical body is going to feel it in different ways. So as you clear out the old, you're going to feel it. Pain will come to the surface. Illness might surface. Things that haven't been dealt with might surface. And I feel like we can heal all of that in tandem with a healthy, high vibrational lifestyle with emotional healing. So right now, I feel like those of you who have been doing the trauma healing, or even if you haven't done it all the way yet, everybody stores their traumas in their sacral chakra. So our sacral chakra is our reproductive area, our pelvis, that area, our hips. And this area is the mecca, or the powerhouse for our sacred feminine energy, our creativity, our ability to create an abundant life, our access to joy and fulfillment, and also our connection to our sensuality and our sexuality. And this can also be an area connected to emotional intimacy, with yourself. So if you're blocked because there's trauma residing there, or connections to trauma residing there, then you might experience some level of pain or illness in that part of your body or other parts of your body. Or you may just literally feel blocked. You might feel blocked from abundance. You might feel like you are creative, but you can't access that creativity to complete, a project or a major work that you want to create. You might feel like sometimes you're abundant, but you can't keep it flowing all the time. You might feel like you're deprived of joy, or you might deprive yourself of joy. You might deprive yourself of sexual fulfillment, or intimacy with yourself or others. And, intimacy has all different meanings. Intimacy is about being close. And when we have intimacy with ourselves, that means we're getting an up close personal look with ourselves. So that means we're seeing into our own soul. We're supporting our emotional body. We are supporting ourselves. We are our own ally. We're listening to ourselves. We're self-caring. We're giving our body and our mind and our soul what it needs. That's intimacy. So if we don't have that level of intimacy with ourselves, we can't expect to have that type of support and intimacy, whether it be physical intimacy or just that closeness on an emotional level with anyone else. So that can be blocked when we hold traumas there as well, especially if we have anything that we were shameful of from our past. So I say this all the time when I soul coach with my clients, but in soul coaching, you learn that trauma can be anything. Trauma from your past, it doesn't have to be like a really, what we would consider maybe by common definition, like a traumatic or dramatic event. Trauma can be any level of distress. It could have been an embarrassing moment that you had as a child that maybe caused you to constrict or to feel shameful of yourself, maybe your body, or shameful of self-expression. It could be anything like that, which now you've held onto that wound and translated it into a pattern of beliefs or behaviors that do not serve you. So sometimes when we hear those terms in society, we hear like, oh, well, get rid of that which does not serve you. It may not just be like, toxic behaviors or addictions or, toxic people. It really can just be like these subtle, very subtle beliefs and patterns that we have in which we constrict ourselves or hold ourselves back from our authenticity or stepping into our full sexuality or sensuality or our full sacred feminine expression. It could just be also the imbalances that those traumas create where we swing in an imbalanced way in our polarities. So you might be saying, well, this is all sounds like expression. Isn't that the solar plexus? You have to understand that everything below the belt, as I like to say, like below the navel, is the cause of why you're disconnected with your solar plexus. Okay, so that's like where all the root stuff is. It's your traumas, it's your root imbalances. Okay, and this right now, specifically, they're talking about the sacral chakra. So I want you to, if you're open to it, and you guys who are watching the video, if you're in this space where you can do a little meditation, I'm not going to play music or anything, but I just want you to close your eyes for a moment and just do a little meditation with me. So I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath and center your energy. And this won't be a long meditation. It's just something simple that you can do. You can even do it in the car while you're driving, really. It just takes some awareness. So I want you to, don't close your eyes though if you're driving. But just want you to draw your attention to your sacral chakra. So, kind of feel internally what's going on in there. How does it feel? Do you feel anything? For some of you, you might be, for the females, you might be menstruating. You might actually physically feel something there. You might have aches or pains there of some sort in your lower abdomen or in your hips or pelvic area. Notice that now. So call your attention to the physical sensations. Now call your awareness to the energetic sensations. So what types of feelings do you have connected into that area? Does it feel warm and inviting? Or does it feel disconnected in some way? Or does it feel mucky? Or what's the feeling? What's the texture? What's the energy? And if you don't see a warm, glowing orange light there, what do you see? What colors do you see? What emotions do you feel? So now taking that awareness forward, I want you to think back to your childhood. And this does not have to be any level of sexual trauma, although it could be for some of you. We store all trauma in our sacral chakra, and that creates the imbalanced solar plexus, the separation from our true expression and our closed heart chakra and closed, throat chakra. That's all the residuals. But right now we're just focusing on the traumas. These could be like literal sexual traumas, or they could be any type of trauma, embarrassment. It could even be the way that you were programmed or things that were said to you that had you maybe cut off from your ability to manifest, or this feeling like abundance was within your reach, or that joy or pleasure was accessible for you. Think back to any situation or any memory or anything that was said or told to you that may have separated you from the feelings of connection to abundance, joy, fulfillment, your creative passions. Everybody's going to have all sorts of different realizations when they do this. Like I said, it could come from all areas. It could be a parent who wanted you to be a doctor when you wanted to be an artist, right? It could be a family that grew up with, lack mentality or lack thinking, where abundance felt really far away. Or maybe you saw your parents struggling to survive. Maybe you were homeless or didn't have enough food on the table. Or maybe there was a real personal trauma in which you felt embarrassed, or maybe there was someone who shamed you or shamed your body, made fun of you, or made fun of the way you looked. And perhaps this caused you to constrict yourself or hide yourself away in some aspect. All sorts of possibilities. I'll give you a moment of silence now just to think on that. What traumas or programming may be relevant to whatever emotional or physical blockages you're holding in your sacral chakra now. So as you make these connections, I want you to also think about the time in your life when you came into your adulthood. So when you were going through puberty, whether you are a male or a female listening to this, I want you to think about when you were like 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. What was happening at that time in your life? Did you feel understood? Did you feel misunderstood? Did you have the emotional support that you needed? Were you made fun of at school? Did you love your body? Were you insecure about it? How were you relating to the changes that were happening? And did anyone explain what was happening at that time? If you were, feeling hormonal or feeling those changes or feeling those shifts within you? Was anyone there to support you or explain that to you? And at that time, during those years of puberty, what do you feel like was missing in your life? Was it a particular person or parental figure? Or was it some level of support? What was missing? So allow all of those answers to come through for you. And you may even have certain epiphanies or memories or thoughts that pop up after this meditation. But just open that gateway for that awareness to come through for you so that you can make the connection to any potential blocks you might be carrying now. So now I want you to kind of wipe all of that away, let it all wash away, let it all fade away. And I want you to draw your attention back into your sacral chakra, its current state. And I want you to think about sort of neutralizing the energy there. So whatever trauma exists, whatever blockages are there, I want you to think about sending a glowing, orangey, golden, warm, sort of like sunlight energy to this area. You can imagine this as a ball of light in your sacral chakra. Very warm, like sun, like sunshine, sunlight. And I want you to imagine this light expanding out from your sacral chakra. So up through your solar plexus and into your heart and out through your throat chakra and up through your crown and out the top of your head and down through your legs and out through your feet and below the ground below you. And just imagine yourself being fully enveloped by this really warm, radiating, orangey golden light. So I'm going to read a mantra to you, and all you simply need to do is feel that light, neutralize your mind, keep breathing, and just focus on my words and receiving the healing. I allow my sacral chakra to glow, to radiate a beautiful, warm light, to connect me with my true, sacred feminine essence, to assist me in owning and loving my sensuality and sexuality without fear or shame, to reawaken my passions and ignite my creativity, to bring me a greater sense of joy, abundance, and fulfillment. And once more, just prepare to receive these words, allowing the words and the meaning to heal you, to heal your sacral chakra, to replace anything that feels tainted or blocked or muddy or mucky or dull or yucky. Allow it to become bright, magnetizing, radiant, glowing, healed, and perfect again. I allow my sacral chakra to glow, to radiate a beautiful warm light, to connect me with my true sacred feminine essence, to assist me in owning and loving my sensuality and sexuality without fear or shame, to reawaken my passions and ignite my creativity, and to bring me a greater sense of joy, abundance, and fulfillment. So receive that all, let that penetrate. And as you open your eyes back up or come to the waking moment, carry forth with you the awareness of what you discovered was blocked within you, and also your newly healed state. You can say that mantra to yourself. I have it posted on social media, and I'll post it on this video. You can say that mantra to yourself daily, and you can go in and do the healing around those traumas and those beliefs, those patterns and beliefs, to help you clear this more and more. So for me personally, I had a lot of the major wounding, although there were cycles of dysfunction and, long before I hit puberty, but definitely a lot of the big core wounds were around the age of puberty. So, as I've been feeling the imbalances in my sacral chakra really become very pronounced at this time, I have been able to draw a direct connect to those wounds that have been healed and are healing still. And I feel like this is maybe the final strand of maybe where it's been, since I've been healing it emotionally so much, but maybe not being mindful of where it took hold in my physical body. So this is part of work that I've been doing as well. So I want to move on a little bit and just kind of expand. It's, not a departure from what we were just talking about, but just keep expanding on it. And saying that you could be having all sorts of symptoms right now. Like your hormones could be out of balance. You could experience, for some of the females, your menstrual cycles might be fluctuating with the moon. And I feel like we're trying to acclimate to a new rhythm, which is more like that sun rhythm, which is less waxing, waning, up, down, in a new sign each day. It's much more steady, consistent. And I think using the sunlight energy as a metaphor, not just because your sacral chakra should be glowing and because it's that orange light that we associate it with, but because we need to acclimate on a physical level to the energy of the sun rather than the constant fluctuations of the cycles of the moon. We can work with the cycles of the moon, but I feel like our bodies have been attuning to it, and that's created a lot of moodiness, hormonal fluctuations, ups, downs, and I do feel like we're being called to steady that now so that we can just steadily burn bright, glow bright, shine bright, and I've been getting a lot of that shining bright energy for July, so I do feel like a lot of you will balance anything that is imbalanced. You'll be working on that this month. Huge, huge, huge synchronicities, manifestation power, so heightened. I'm going to talk about that in a twofold way. So firstly, you might be noticing how heightened synchronicities are. It's almost as if they, you can think of it, the higher beings, God, the government, it feels like someone's tapped into your head. You might be going, I don't know if you guys are experiencing it, but I'm experiencing it in almost every minute of every day. And it's amping up more and more and more, where I will just literally think something, and then the next minute, the projection of that thought will be showing up on my TV screen, on a book I open, on a sign I see. It's more than just signs. It's also the manifestation of your fears. So it doesn't mean means I might think like a fearful thought, and then in the next moment I might see the manifestation of that thought, not necessarily the manifestation of that fear, but I will see the manifestation of that thought. So imagine what a ripe time it would be if we could clear out the fears and just stay focused on what we want and what we want to create. And this is part of the reason why we're being asked to clear the sacral chakra right now, because anywhere where we're holding trauma, anything that's given way to fear, separated ourselves from our power center, is coming into play right now. You have a great ability to manifest your fears right now as well. So let's not do that. Let's consciously choose in this moment with one another as we join energetically to listen to this video. Let's just all choose individually and collectively to tap into our highest energy, our highest purpose, and what we desire in our highest timelines, rather than choosing the fear. We must work to dissolve that fear, to understand it and become aware of it, and to dissolve it and transmute it. It's another piece of the sacral chakra clearing too, you guys, I just want to mention, is that transmuting, once you have the awareness of what your traumas are, like using that, channeling it into your creativity, that could really open up that chakra. So I want to draw your attention to something that's been coming up a lot in my private sessions with people. And it's this notion of, are you blocking a possibility because you're afraid? So this comes up a lot with twin flames, and I feel like we have a lot of potentials that are really possible, that you might be really, really, truly believing from inside of you at some level that it's not possible. It feels very connected to fertility. So this could be literal fertility for some of you, and I have been saying this for months, and I want to touch on it because I do hear a lot from my clients, like especially those who are in their 40s and maybe have wanted children and haven't had them yet, or think that it's not possible, or feel like the time is running out. I want to tell you that fertility is still possible for many of you, and having a baby this year or next year could definitely be on the docket for some of you who have wanted this. And you might be looking in your physical shoes right now and saying, how the hell is that going to happen? And I want you to just recognize that when you say, how could that possibly happen? I'm older, I'm getting older, I don't even know if my eggs are viable, I'm not even with my divine life partner, or I'm in separation with my twin flame. How would that be possible? And every time you question that how, you bring resistance and fear into it. So I want you to try to change that mindset instead of how would that be possible, and not with the intention to attach to that timeline, but just to create a possibility. Because in order for the possibility to show up in our awareness and in our physical reality, we must allow the space for it. We must create the possibility in our thoughts. So when the majority of your thoughts are feeding, maybe it's this far out sort of feeling of like, yeah, that would be nice, I've always wanted that. And you guys, you can apply this to anything. It doesn't just have to be, having a child. But I do feel like that's up for some of you, a group of you, and the collective. So when you think those thoughts like, yeah, that would be nice, I've really always wanted that. But yeah, and then the doubt, like, I don't know if that's possible. And then the excuses, or then the reasons why it wouldn't be. Or how is that going to happen? So instead, notice when you do that and start to shift And start to also insert visualizations or times throughout the day, even if it's just for like 15 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes, where you actually turn your attention to visualizing the outcome or that really good feeling thought that you want to manifest. So for those of you who are wanting children, my advice for you would be, sure, you might not know who it's with or how that's all going to happen or how it would even be physically possible in your body, but skip all of that. Just if that's still a feeling that feels good to you and that might be a possibility of something that you still desire, take a minute or two out of your day each and every day to just imagine a warm, beautiful, bubbly baby in your arms, or any feeling that brings to you, any good feeling that brings to you, however you want to imagine it. And then imagine a loving, dependable partner there with you, someone that you feel deeply for and who you might want to parent this child with. And you don't have to see this person's face or know even who they are, but just imagine like they're cradling the baby too, or imagine their dependable, supportive hand touching yours or touching the baby. Just see that in your mind's eye for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, and then let it go. And then just keep imagining that. Because in those imaginings and those visualizations, you create possibility. Possibility that wasn't there before when you were naysaying or doubting it or, focused on the how. So you can do this for any and all manifestations, any place where you feel blocked. I ask twin flames this all the time. I say, well, would you want to be in union with this person? And a lot of times it sounds very similar to the whole baby scenario I just gave you. Well, yeah, I do, but I don't know, that really scares me. And what if it's the same as it was in the past? And how the heck is that going to happen right now? Like, look where we're at. We're not even talking. So a lot of those beliefs stay stuck in our heads, and they create a lot of resistance when it comes to potential unions. And I'm telling you guys, a lot of you, not all of you, have a potential for a union with your twin flame. So this is the time to get real about, have you created that possibility? Often when I ask that to my clients, they'll say, well, honestly, no, I haven't. I've been scared to even think that. I've been scared to even imagine that future timeline or that feeling of, like union or having an actual relationship with my twin again. So I say, well, why don't you spend a few minutes each day just imagining that possibility or going down that road? Maybe it won't feel right to you in your mind's eye. Maybe you'll feel like, no, this isn't what I want. But the thing about it is you don't really need to draw a conclusion. If it is something that you feel like is a possibility for you and that you might desire, create the possibility within your thoughts and just leave it out there as a possible. Don't block it. Don't attach to it. Don't start praying on it, hoping on it, wishing on it. That's different. That's attachment. That's fear. That's trying to control it. We don't need to do that right now. We're in a rapid manifestation time. Thought form, like telepathy is huge right now between the twin flames. So I think a lot of you are doubting it though. So trust and create possibility. And know that any synchronicities, signs, any telepathy, anything that you're receiving is an instant transmission. It's almost like an instantaneous transmission. Things are happening so fast. So I hope that's helpful for you. I feel like it's what needed to be delivered at this time. And I'll try to come back in a few days or at the end of the week and post a full reading or energy update for next week. All right, I love you guys, and I hope that you're well. If anyone wants to work with me, you can visit spiritualmaterialgirl.com. Don't forget about the retreat. Book your spot now. They are filling up. And I look forward to connecting with you all soon. Okay, bye. Mwah.